Hi, my name's Kathy Oliveira, and I am here to tell you a little bit about Mary Kay. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for having an open mind. You never know when some information could change your life, and this information might. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about me, if that's okay. I started Mary Kay over 30 years ago. I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, and I was looking for something. I needed something more in my life. Do you feel like you need something more in your life? I don't know. I mean, I was busy. Don't get me wrong. I was super busy and we didn't have a huge financial need at the time, although my husband worked 12 hours a day. He was able to pay all the bills, but no extra, no vacations, except to see family. I don't know if that's your life or not, but that was my life back then. But I was so grateful to be able to stay home with little Johnny. But I needed something more in my life. I needed more friends. I needed more of a challenge. And I wanted to keep my freedom. I was at home and I could do what I want when I wanted to. I wanted to keep that freedom. I also wanted to keep the priorities of my family being more important than a career. That's why I quit at the university. I was assistant dean there prior to having little Johnny. And I enjoyed my work, but nothing was as important to me than being home. So I sacrificed, and so did my husband, and stayed home. But anyway, my sister was a Mary Kay consultant when I was staying home with Johnny. And I told her, absolutely not. I will never do Mary Kay. And I'd appreciate it if you don't bring that up. I will buy your products at full price. Maybe you've told your consultant this. I will buy your products at full price, but I am not interested in being a consultant. Are you wondering why? Maybe they're the same reasons that you're a little resistant. First of all, I didn't want to be the sales type. I thought for sure I would have to just be really pushy and, hi, I'm Kathy Oliveira with Mary Kay. Would you like to have a facial? And I didn't want to be seen as that. I don't want people to run from me, that kind of thing. It wasn't worth it to me, the money. So that was one reason. Another reason was I didn't know anybody to start with. I really didn't. Back then, think 30 plus years ago, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have this type of thing. And when I quit at the university, I didn't have people's numbers. I wasn't working. It had been 2 years, 1 year, 2 years. I didn't know how to reach those people unless I walked into the university again, which I guess I could, but I didn't think I was going to do that. And I had moved when I had Johnny. So we moved to a totally different area. So I didn't know my church friends and yet I didn't know my neighbors. So I was lost there. I didn't know anybody to start with there, no work, and then nobody in the neighborhood or church. And then the last thing, the kicker was my sister had taken all the family and I had no family to start with. So I mean, where was to start? I knew that, with this type of thing, you start with friends and family, but anyway, so that was another reason. The other reason was I didn't wear makeup. I wasn't interested in makeup. And that just wasn't something I was interested in doing with anything involving makeup. So for those reasons, oh, one more reason. I had done Mary Kay before, and maybe you have too. Have you? You know, but I thought, nope, I failed. Mary Kay doesn't work for me. Well, okay, let me handle all of those reasons and tell you what I found out. First of all, let's start backwards with the Mary Kay. If you've done Mary Kay like I had before, that doesn't mean that it's going to be the same outcome as it was before. That just doesn't make sense. It did to me, but it doesn't. Obviously, the second time I did it, it worked fantastic. So the second thing was, what would I say before that? Oh, I didn't wear makeup. Well, guess what? You can learn. You can learn how to wear makeup. And with the training that Mary Kay offered, I was able to learn how to put eyeshadow on, learn where lip liner went and all that stuff. So the other thing was I didn't have people to start with. Well, with the training that you'll receive with Mary Kay, you will learn how to get customers, how to keep them. And we don't just, boy, we have some great hawks around here. We, those are hawks in my yard there, but I love the outdoors, by the way. But anyway, let me stay focused. What was I saying? Oh, with the training that you get in Mary Kay, they teach you how to build a customer base, right? And so I can learn, and I know you can too. So if you're like, I don't have anybody to start with, I'm not outgoing, I'm shy or whatever, you can learn. We'll teach you. And then the big reason, the sales thing, well, I'll tell you something. If you're the sales type, we're going to need to retrain you because it really is just different in Mary Kay. In Mary Kay, we take the approach of letting people try stuff, and then they can buy it if they want to. And so we focus on getting appointments where people can be, just have a luxurious facial free of charge with microdermabrasion, glycolic acid sometimes. I mean, it's just the whole works. Who wouldn't want that? And so really, this business would be even better for you if you're not the sales type. So there you go. Anyway, you're probably wondering, how in the world did I even get started with Mary Kay, right? So you're like, okay, how did you get started with Mary Kay since you were so opposed to it? Well, let me tell you. When you're looking for something, you're looking for something. And I was looking for friends and a challenge, something to do outside of the home because I was in the home. And I just wanted something more in my life. And so I knew I needed if I wanted the freedom, if I wanted to keep the priorities of my family more important than my career, I needed something that was totally flexible. And so my sister, as I said, was doing Mary Kay, and I had seen her have so much fun. Oh, don't even get started. Win all sorts of prizes. Oh my God. All she could talk about was how much fun she was having with Mary Kay. And so that was kind of annoying, to be honest with you. I'm like, oh, Brit, how much can you talk about Mary Kay? But anyway, so I was looking for a business. I knew I needed to start a business because that way I could have freedom and flexibility. But gosh, the businesses seem so confusing and overwhelming, and like they would take all my time, and I didn't want any liability. I didn't want any of that stuff. So as I remember, I just woke up one morning and said, I'm doing Mary Kay. Remember, I had told my sister I would never do Mary Kay, right? So anyway, walked to her apartment, knocked on her door and said, sign me up. And she said, for what? And I said, for Mary Kay. And she said, oh, are you kidding me? I'm like, yeah, sign me up. And she said, are you sure? I said, yes. So anyway, that's my story. Maybe you have some of the same concerns that I did. I don't know, but there you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But I don't know. Here's a few things you might need to know about Mary Kay. You work however much you want. People always say, oh, I don't have time. Well, I'm like, everyone has time. They have time for things that are important for them. And plus, with Mary Kay and the way that we do it with Facebook parties, with Zoom parties, with in-person parties or facials, one-on-one sort of thing, there's so much flexibility. I mean, there's so much flexibility on your time. And I know that if you want to make money, if you need to make money, if you want a challenge, if you want more friends, or for whatever reason you're doing this, you want a free car, you want trips around the world, I don't know, you'll find the time. I know you will, and you will too, and you know that too, right? So anyway, yes, an average appointment, if it's virtual or on Facebook, is 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Yeah, so that's about how much time it would take. I find personally, this is just me, that over the 30 years that the average person, because I've seen a lot of people in Mary Kay. The average person will buy about $100. So if you have 5 people around the table, probably your party will be about, on average, 500. I'm not guaranteeing it, but that's, what I have found. If you have a one-on-one, the average would be about $100 in sales. So how much do we make? 50%, half. Some other direct sales companies, oh my God, I don't even know how the consultants even keep track. They don't even know how much they make. We make 50%, period, the end. That is it. Not complicated, okay? But I make 50%. I've been in 30 years. Somebody that just started yesterday makes 50%. That's it, okay? So to me, back 30 years ago, that's all I needed to hear. I'm like, 50%, yes, I like that. Okay, now, the other way that we make money is through our reorders. That is huge. And so if you're a logical, business-minded person, you're going to be like, oh, yeah. You're going to see the beauty in that, all right? Because it's one thing having an appointment, having a party, having a one-on-one, having a on the go or selling at work or this or that type of thing, right? It's one thing doing that, but it's another thing when you get these reorders, the people reordering the same thing over and over and over because they love it, and you making 50% over and over and over, and the company just ding, doing all the work, sending out the product for you and giving you 50% for all those reorders. You will find as you build your customer base that the biggest income could be your reorders, and you do absolutely nothing except for we have this catalog that I would highly recommend sending out every quarter, either virtually or in paper, but because people love to see what do you have. You could even have a Facebook VIP page, and that'll really get your sales going up, but we'll train you more about that later. Anyway, and then you can build a team in Mary Kay. About 10% of my consultants decide, you know what, I want to share this opportunity. And your consultant is one of the 10. So congratulations to her. I know when I first started Mary Kay, I didn't want to share the opportunity with anybody. I wanted to keep them all for my customers. I didn't want them to become consultants. No way. So selfish. But anyway, that's crediting to your consultant. That's like so admirable of your consultant that she would be willing to share the opportunity with you. So anyway, when you do share the opportunity and people want to start Mary Kay business of their own, and we're all independent, we don't work for one another, but you have your independent business, you can move up the career path at your own pace, which I love. Nobody pushes you, and yet nobody holds you back. Nobody chooses you except for you. Okay. So, you move from senior consultant all the way up to national sales director. It's amazing. I'm not going to go through the figures with you right here, but I'd be happy to tell you the figures because they're very simple, just like the 50%. It's not complicated, but for time purposes, I won't share them with you here, but I will say that I decided to promote myself eventually. It took me a while, right? It took me 6 months till I shared with anybody. Then I started to share. Then I won my car. Then I became a director. Then I became a senior director, executive senior, and now I'm a national sales director. So it took me a while at the beginning, but what I will say is that I have supported my family of 4, and I'm talking college costs as well, for over 20 years. Yes. So not only has this business surprisingly been a fabulous thing for me that has afforded me the freedom and flexibility that I longed for, keeping my family as a top priority, but it has made a huge difference in the life of my husband. He had a very stressful job with the federal government, and he was able to quit. He actually surprised me. Can you believe it? He didn't even tell me. But he just called me one day and said, guess what? I quit. Okay. He said, "You're making enough with Mary Kay to support our family of 4." I said, "Well, okay," and he was right. Yes. I mean, I didn't even tell you about the free cars. Yes, pink Cadillacs. Mhm. You can have one too. I thought they were pie in the sky. I was a very skeptical person about Mary Kay when I started, and maybe you are too. But you know what I said when I went over to my sister's house? You know what I said to myself? I'll never know unless I try. And so I just encourage you to try. Just try. What's the investment? You're not required to have inventory. You could have it. It's up to you. Having product on hand is of benefit, but it's really your decision. But you need to become a consultant, and you can do that for either $30 or more. $30 will get you in. You'll have a website for a year. You'll have ProPay so people can process credit cards there for a year. You'll have training for forever, however long you're a consultant. You'll have the support. You'll have the education. Yeah. So 30 bucks. That's it. And then there's extender kits if you want to. And I'll talk with you more about that if you're interested. Anyway, what need do you have in your life right now? Can it be fulfilled with Mary Kay? I don't know. Only you do. And I encourage you to ask yourself that question. And then why not give it a try? What have you got to lose? Absolutely nothing. And even if you think, well, this isn't my cup of tea, hello. If you like Mary Kay products, you'll know that you can buy them at half price for the rest of your life. They're already such a good price. And then when you get them for half price, are you kidding me? Plus, I didn't even mention the tax benefits. Oh my gosh, of having your own business. Anyway, I could go on and on. The rewards, the trips around the world, the the prizes you'll earn, the girlfriends you'll have. Oh, I could go on and on, but this is supposed to be a short video. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Kathy Oliveira. Give your consultant a huge hug for me and thank her for sharing the opportunity with you. And if this isn't for you, if you have no needs in your life and you're happy as you could be, I am happy for you, and you stay on that course. Don't you try Mary Kay. This isn't for you right now. But if there is a need, give it a try. And if there isn't, pass this information on to someone who you think might have a need. You'll never know if you change a life or not.